Australian economy outperforms, GDP increased 0.7% in June. Australia's economy defied forecasts and expanded by 0.7% in the June quarter, but analysts warn that the expansion will not be sustained. The Australian Bureau of Statistics published data on Wednesday indicating that an increase in government and consumer expenditure contributed to the modest increase in gross domestic product. Although household spending accounts for almost half of the Australian economy, it increased by only 1% in the third quarter. The June quarter GDP was expected to increase between 0.1% and 0.6%. GDP increased 9.6% on an annual basis, up from 1.1% in the preceding quarter. Lockdowns had little effect on economic activity, according to the ABS, but the longer stay-at-home orders that occurred in NSW only started in the final week of June. As a consequence, Australia is likely to escape a technical recession, 2 quarters of negative GDP, for the time being. But the June numbers do not fully reflect the state of the Australian economy. The September quarter statistics, which will be published in December, are anticipated to indicate a substantial reduction as a consequence of the lockdowns in NSW, the ACT, and Victoria. According to Deloitte Access Economics, Wednesday's numbers were the eye of the storm. The data shows an exceptionally prosperous era for Australia. However, the same cannot be true of today. The storm occurred in June, with just 7% of the population shut in on any one day during the time, said Stephen Smith, partner. Australia's economic recovery now hinges on the country reopening once vaccination rates reach 70 to 80%. However, Mr. Smith cautions that we are not yet out of the woods. There is still a good possibility that Australia's second recession is already underway, and likely to last through the end of the year, he said. Jim Chalmers, the opposition's Treasury spokesperson, seized on the numbers on Wednesday, saying they were a major indication of the government's incompetence. However, according to him, slower growth compared to the United States, United Kingdom, and the OECD average occurred. Once the shutdowns in New South Wales, Victoria, and the ACT end in the third quarter, the full cost of the Morrison government's ineptitude will be apparent.